What is up, guys? Team Women's here, and we got the second place, second day for ARG top. So yeah, I came in with Aquaforce. This deck was actually really last minute made. Cause I was debating what deck to play that day. The first day I went with golds, and I got 17th place, and I was mad at the deck, and I was like, okay, putting you away. Yeah, I got 17th place. If you guys don't know me, I'm known for always getting the dagger. But aside from that, I'm like, alright, I'll just change decks. Maybe that'll make me, like, change and everything. So I chose to go with Aquaforce, and the deck did well. I only lost to a good friend of mine, Sean, Team Honey Badger. Shout out to him. He played Sanctuary Guard, Sanctuary Guard, not Arc's not out yet. He played Sanctuary Guard deck, and of course, my other curse is no defensive triggers. And then drive check, nothing. But that's fine. But that deck overall performed really well. I enjoy this deck. Sadly, I sold it, and then I picked it up again, and luckily I picked it up right before the hype for the new support. But I really do love this deck, and this time I will keep it. I'm not gonna really sell it. Starter, still the same starter from before. Bubble, Edge, Draco Kid. I wanted to play the new Wave starter for Thavas that came out back in the Extra Booster, but this card draws me cards. It goes away early. It's just really good. I don't see any other starter replacing him. Maybe the Thavas one if you have a grade 3 issue for striding, but like I never have that issue. I always draw all my grade 3s.
It's not that good to be. I mean, like
I like that he gets you another attack.
The child deck one is even better.
The child deck one is better. The only thing I don't like, it costs like counterblast, which isn't that bad.
In this deck, you
don't really use your counterblast, but like there was a few games where I don't know why, but I got far into the game and I don't know how I survived. I guess it's my other ability is that I always survive everything with bull crap. But that's a different story. So that's the starter. Love him. He draws and he does stack. So, actually, what I like is that if you do them, like, you can actually technically draw. No, you can't. Okay.
You can draw up to 3 cards.
3 cards. Yeah. That's tough to get the third one.
I mean,
the second one's easy.
You'll typically go into 2. Like he'll draw you an extra card. That's a +1. And then if you do, if it's a cold day in hell, he'll get you the third one if you really want it.
You have to go out of your way, but. Alright, we'll start off with the grade 3s. Grade 3 is 3/1 who surpasses the storm, Thavas. I love this card,
4.
but sadly, he technically doesn't do anything. It bothers me. You know why you play him? For the name.
He's in my personal opinion. He's like the one of the grade 3 G star striders, whatever the heck you call
that does
him.
nothing
does nothing for Aquaforce.
Like his retire skill every now and then is really nice. It has helped me a few games. Like it does win me like it helps enough to like bother certain matches. Like if you fight Nova Grappler or you fight like the mirror match, like he does help for that aspect. But like honestly, his on stride ability and his GB2, like I won't lie, his GB2 has won me. It actually won me a game. And it was at one of our players at our shop. But that's a difference.
It's situational.
It's very situational. You never get there. But overall, I'm looking forward to when he gets his second grade 3 form. And then I'll probably just play that grade 3 over him. And then play the other grade 3s that I play right now. But, but overall, like you play him for the name. Because his support overall is actually really good. Backup grade 3, I played 2 Skyros. This guy actually won me so many games.
He's honestly the better grade 3.
I fought one of our players from our shop. He was playing Messiah, Freeze Ray, and luckily I rode him first. And when I strode, he could even though he was on Freeze Ray, he couldn't lock my front row because I don't know. No, I mean not him. When he went on Messiah, he couldn't lock my front row. Yeah, and then the round right after that had to fight Chaos Breaker. Yeah, so much fun. I fought Link Joker twice.
He's still top.
Yeah.
Did you beat them both?
I beat them both, but our player at the shop, that game was bullcrap. I shouldn't have won that game. I will explain why I shouldn't win that game. and I will go into great detail why I shouldn't. But he's really good. Like his DB1, everyone in the front row gains resist, and then his other skill is on placement, on Vanguard. Pick a unit when it swings for the third wave or more. Check top 5 and add a grade 3. So if you do it on Tidal Assault, or if you do it like on any unit, like if you do it on Tidal Assault, you can use the skill twice. So that way you can dig to getting more grade 3s. So that way you have less, grade 3s to drive check. And like he helps, like especially through digging. Like that's what I like about him. And then the other grade 3 that I ran was the new guy from the new set. I actually really do like this guy. He actually helped me a lot of games, and a lot of people didn't know what he did. You never want to ride him. That's why I only played him at 2. He's a good rear guard. His skill on Vanguard is when he's placed, counter blast 1, so blast 1, check top 5. He gives you for wave, but I don't play that many wave units. His other skill is when your Vanguard swings for the third attack, it has to be the third attack, counter blast 1. He restands and he gains 2k power. The power isn't necessary, it's the restanding. So basically, you can go into the one who surpasses the storm, the Commander Thavas strike, and then swing him for the third. Swing him, unboosted. Swing with somebody else. Swing with him. Skill, restand, and then you get more plays. Or sometimes I did give him the power, have him in the back, swing for 16, swing with somebody else, swing with him, restand, and then
Yeah, he's just another
he's a really good restanding unit. And the fact that he's 11k, it helps a lot.
Yeah.
Grade 2s. Still, I play for the boy.
The boy.
He never left me. I always opened up with him. At least at 2.
The boy.
I love you. You won me all my games.
I wish that card. If he was SP, I'd drop money.
I dropped money for this card too. He was so good. If you don't know what Tidal Assault does, is when he attacks, he restands minus 5k, which is not a problem.
He just attack Vanguard though.
He just needs to attack. Well, if he attacks the Vanguard, which is actually relevant. So if you do Lambros, you have him swing for a rear guard, and then on Lambros, have him swing at the Vanguard twice. But this card is the MVP. That's why he's a 4 of in almost every Aquaforce deck. Almost. I played 3 Adelaide, and we don't speak of the Spike Brother Adelaide. This card actually really good, especially with the Strike Thavas. Her skill is on placement. If you have a Thavas GB1, if you have a Thavas Vanguard, Counter Blast 1, Soul Blast 1, she gains 2k. When she attacks the Vanguard, she restands. Which is really good because since you play all like Thavas strides, basically the play is these two basically. So even if you're on the wrong grade 3, go into him and then she will get her skill off. She's really good to get those extra attacks. The counter blast and the soul blast is never an issue. And I play her at 3. For more early game, I played 2 couple dagger sailor. It actually helped me out a lot. I was fighting against Great Nature, and I had no board. So I called her. I strode. I called her behind, and then called this. So they were at 5 damage with 11 cards in hand, and I removed all of their hand because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bunch of attacks in that one turn. So, and then for early game, she's still really good. Like at 2, she was fine. Like I had no issue with her. I love couple daggers, but I wish I could play more. But the counterblast issue was the issue, and then there's not that many cards that run well with her. Like she runs well with Adelaide and this guy, but that costs you a lot of counterblast. So gotta be careful with that. The one card that actually won me a lot of my games because people didn't expect it, especially on Lambros, is High Tide Sniper. A lot of people kind of forgot about this card. I like this card. Its skill is when he swings for a 3rd attack or more, Soul Blast 1, he gains 10k power until the end of that battle. So he doesn't keep the 10k, so you can have him swing for a 3rd battle, becomes 19, when it drops to 10k, swing with Lambros, give him 10k, swing with him again, he gains another 10k, so he becomes 29. So if you put triggers on there, that's probably your biggest attack with Aquaforce if you have him. There is another unit that gets bigger, but she has to have a Thavas Vanguard, and it's for all your wave units. And despite all the new wave units that's come out in the old ones from the extra booster, don't think she's good right now, but she has potential. So, but he's right now better because it's just 10k. It's pretty generic. Grade 1s, I played 4 Carmen Electra Perfect Guards. I kind of wish I had the unflip perfect cards, but like I said, I was missing cards, so I just played these. And I thought about it. I'm like, what if I fight Dimension Police? That deck doesn't exist anymore, which is kind of sad. But I kind of wish I had the unflipping perfect cards. I did come into a few situations where I wish I needed, some more counterblast, but nothing you can do. But overall, like, 4 perfect cards, 4 stride enablers, because this is a GB deck. You still need a stride. And if I had him, I don't want to write him. I want him as a rear guard. So I basically call, reveal, add Thavas, pitch something else, and keep him. The card that actually won me my most important games is this card right over here. I love her. So basically, her skill is if she has resist permanently, and GB1, if you have a Cardfight Vanguard, if she's a 3rd attack or more, counterblast 1, she gains 5k and you draw a card. So if you're on, like Lambros, she still keeps the 5k that she gained from her 1st attack, and then you'd use her skill again and she gains another 5k plus a 10k from Lambros, so she's really good. And the whole resisting, like a lot of Link Joker players that I fought, like I would basically have my board like this, and I would have it like this. And then if I had another one, I put in the front. So Link Joker could never touch my front row, and I would just keep them. And like they couldn't understand that I would still keep my front row. So it like played mind games with them. Like even though they were puny attacks, those puny attacks were just enough because they relied too much on their locking, and for them to generate advantage from just not like guarding as much. But having them out actually helped out a lot. Then I played 2 this girl. A lot of people say you should run her at 3 and this at 3, but I don't know. I just feel like Link Joker is out there so much that I wanted her at 4. But she's good. I'm not gonna lie, I could have won a game sooner against one of my Link Joker matchups if I had her out. Because I had 1 out and I needed 1 more because I had a column open. So I could have gone into the new Thavas strike and just blew up their board and forced like more cards out of their hand, or just killed them that turn with the guard control. But it's whatever. Triggers, I played 4 draws. I like the new art for her. This is basically the Margot clone for Aquaforce. She's really good. Something that like I learned from a friend of mine, Rafa, was move the starter to the right or left side and call her to the front. It swings for 9. That's a column. If your opponent kills it, cool, I don't care. It's a draw trigger. And then worst case, you can use a draw trigger to go to put into the soul and then fix a column, fix a wonky column. Like this early game is not bad, and then it's a draw trigger, and then this deck doesn't really gain hand advantage, so you need the draws. 8 crits. I play the same crits as always. 4 Thavas crits. I actually like them against Link Joker matchup because you can like make a column with it, and then you would make them disappear, and then they would get upset. This I rarely get to use the whistle guy. He's good. He's active ability, put him into the soul, unflip at 1 damage. Like it came up 1 game when I had like the 2 Adelaides, but like I never use the skill, but it's nice to have. Like thank God they're no longer like $8 crits. And 4 heals.
Why didn't you play the new stand trigger?
I like the new stand trigger. I didn't play it just because I felt the 4 draws were necessary for the recovery. The stand trigger is GB1. I don't know. Like I see why people run stands in Aquaforce, but I've never seen the real reason for it. Because I somehow play where I still have at least 1 unit still standing, so I can always put triggers there. But like I see why people play stands. It's just I don't know. When it comes to stands, I feel like they work better in decks that gain a lot of power. That's my personal opinion, but like a lot of people like can say like, oh, but Aquaforce like actually does really well with stands. I feel like Maelstrom would benefit more with stands because like he has to be like the final attack. Well, Thavas and like Blue Wave, like nah, they're not gonna. Their Vanguard's usually not the final attack. It's usually one of the attacks. Like especially Thavas. Like if you go into the stride Thavas, he can be the first attack, which we're gonna go into right now. So strides. 4 Commander Thavas. Yeah, I got 2 SPs and 2 of the original GR. I actually want to pick up 2 more of these. I like your art better. His skill is active ability, flip a copy of himself face up, give a unit 5k power, and the new ability that it can attack from the back row. So it's really good. You can do the combo with the Adelaide grade 2, and his GB3 is the unit that if it attacks for the 4th battle, it has to be the 4th battle. You pick 3 of your opponent's units and you retire. So basically, if you are on the Thavas grade 3, you can basically blow up 2 cards. So it's kind of nice. He has been always my first turn stride in all of my games, and a lot of my games he's still my second turn stride, because like sometimes your opponent's still at 2 damage or they're at 3 damage, and I'm like, well, I need to keep wailing at you for more damage. So that's why he's still at 4. 4 Lambros. He is your main finisher. He can also be a card that you can just get rid of cards from your opponent's hand. His skill is, if you don't know what he does, he's like the best thing that came out for Aquaforce. When he's going for the 4th battle, flip a copy of himself face up, stand 2 of your rear guards, and give them plus 10k power. I love this card. He fixes so many attacks, and then if you have the right board, he can just wipe out your opponent's hand. I love this card right here. He's so good. But a card that's like stolen my heart throughout the whole tournament. He won me probably my most important games, or he just got rid of so much hand from my opponent's hand, is the new Wailing Thavas. He's really good. His skill is when he swings for the 3rd battle or more, counterblast 1. For every attack from a rear guard that attacked, he gains 5k power, and then your opponent cannot guard him with grade 1s. So they can G guard him, they can guard him with grade 2s, 3s, they just can't perfect guard him basically. And his other skill is that you retire as many rear guards when he's waiting for a 3rd battle more for every rear guard that attacked. So you can pump him up to really high numbers. Your opponent's at 5 damage. He's your other finisher. So if Lambert gets him to 5, he's the one that's just gonna pump your opponent down. I love this card. A lot of my opponents didn't have a G guard to block them, or I just wanted to blow up their whole board. I did this against Link Joker, and the one game that I mentioned that I shouldn't have won was against Link Joker. Game 1, I decked out. Game 2, I won because I had the resist units. Game 3, he kept healing, and I'm like, okay. I swing for my first turn stride. I drove tech grade 3, grade 3, grade 2. And I'm like, crap, I'm at 4 damage, I'm gonna die. So I had just enough to guard his rear guard. He swings with his Vanguard. Vanguard doesn't have a crit chest. He drives techs, not a single trigger. And I go to 5, no damage. He swings again with his other rear guards. I blocked them all, and if he got 1 trigger, I was gonna die. I didn't have enough because those grade 3s weren't stuck in my hand. I drew for turn. I drew a draw trigger, but I still had 2 grade 3s in my hand. So I pitched one of those grade 3s to stride. I went into him because this will be my second stride. And because my first turn stride was Thavas, the other style stride. So I had GB3 already open when I went into him. I swung with a draw trigger, swung with a grade 3, swung with him, counterblast 1. I blew up 2 of his units, basically his interceptor, and he had 4 cards left in his hand, and he couldn't guard this guy. He was at 3 damage. I swung, hit nothing, crit. And I'm like, and it was in time, and that was game 3. Yeah, I shouldn't have won that game, but he won me that game. Thank you, Wailing Thavas. You saved me that game. I was gonna not top. I played one of this guy, Aristotle. I think I went into him once, and I think that was just to retire a starter. Because my opponent had a full board, and I wanted to just blow up a starter. I think it was Gear Chronicle. I think I wanted to just blow up like the starter that they love so much with the whole Melon combo. I'm like, no, I want that thing dead. I played one Seabreeze. I never went into this card. I don't know why I played this card, but it was there for space. And then G-Guards, I played 2 of the Blue Storm G-Guard. If I love this G-Guard because if it's their first attack, he gains plus 10k, or their 4th or more attack, he gains 10k. Which is why I played one of this, the one from Friday Collection. I hate this G-Guard. I think it's crap. But I played it for one reason, because this G-Guard, if your opponent knows the matchup, they can play around it. If they swing for the second attack, I can't use the Z-guard. I have to use this one. It only gets +5 for the first or the second attack. But if your opponent knows that, if they play it right, they just have to swing for the third time, and all your G-guards suck. Aqua Force, yep. But overall, like if they swing, like if it's a Gear Chronicle and they swing for multiple attacks, this G-guard is actually really good. But if you know the matchup, just swing for the third attack, and then all your G-guards and Aqua Force just suck. If they know. But that's the only reason why I played one of her, is because if your opponent like swung for the second attack and I needed to block it, I at least got the 5k. But this is only restricted for the first and fourth and more, for plus 10k shield. But overall, it's not a bad G-guard, but honestly, it could have been a lot better, because there was a few opponents that, like, after the second and third game, they caught on and they made sure their Vanguard swung for the third attack, or their biggest column swung for the third attack on purpose. And if they did it for the second attack, I had this one to catch them off guard.
The third attack is honestly like right in the middle point where neither of the G-guards really works.
Yep, and then I played one Dismal, just if I needed to keep an important rear guard on the board, it was good. And then just the 15k shield, but honestly it was mostly there just to protect the rear guard. Mostly Tidal Soul and then the High Tide Sniper. But so I got second place with the deck. I love the deck. It was really good. Round 1 I fought Gear Chronicle. I was already sick and tired of fighting Gear Chronicle, because day 1 I fought 5 Gear Chronicles and I was like, bruh, for round 1, which the guy ended up topping. He got 8th place, because I was a really good tiebreaker for him. He was actually rooting for me during the last round, because he knew if I lost he wasn't gonna make it. Round 2, I don't remember what I fought. I know round 3 I fought my friend Sean. It was the Sanctuary Guard deck. After that I fought Link Joker. That was the guy that I mentioned before that I shouldn't have won that game. I already mentioned this story. He was playing Messiah, Freeze Ray. Round 5 I fought Chaos Breaker. Yeah, back-to-back Link Joker. So much fun. But since if you guys know Zavani, he's probably one of the best Link Joker players I know, and I fought him enough times that I know how their deck works enough to know how to beat it. And when someone's not piloting the deck well, it's like it's like Devin, when I see like someone play Shadows and they don't play it right, like it's like eating like healthy for like months, and then you finally eat junk food and like you throw up. It's basically that. Like you see someone play it so well, and then someone plays it and someone plays it like it doesn't well, like you can catch on, you can beat them. Like when they misplay or they make really bad plays, you can take advantage of it. And then after the 2 Link Jokers I fought, it was another player from our shop. He played Great Nature. Surprisingly, that was actually my hardest matchup. Game 1 he almost decked out, but he went Big Belly and I couldn't guard anything else. Game 2 was actually a much better game. That was a game where Wailing Thavas came in through. He had 11 cards in his hand, and I got rid of his hand because I'm like, alright, if I go Lambros, you're going to perfect guard the Vanguard, because I know he had 2 perfect guards. So I went to Wailing Thavas because I knew he had 3 heal triggers in hand. I'm like, I'm going to force your entire hand out of you this turn. So I went into him, pump him up to 46. He wasted 2 G guards for this card, and he was perfect guarding rear guards. So, because that turn I got 6 attacks. Next, and in the third game, I won by the skin of my teeth. I G-assisted for a grade 2. But he had no offense, and you just had to keep playing the game, and then I just won by just knocking out his hand. But game 2 was a much better game. We at least got to, like, everything. We got to see everything. We got to see Lambros, Wailing Thavas. He got to go into the Big Belly stride, all that stuff. But overall, that and the 2 Link Joker matchups were probably the hardest. Link Joker only because the first player healed a lot and he wouldn't die. And the second one, it's Chaos Breaker. They lock early and it's annoying, and you have to play that matchup really smart, because if they big crunch a column, then it's over. Luckily, if you know the rulings with big crunch, if they have to pick a rear guard first to lock the whole column. If the whole column has resist, they can't touch it. And another thing is, if you already have a unit locked in the same column and you have a unit with resist, they can't lock the column, because a lot of people don't know is that which I had to explain to the guy, but he still wanted to call a judge, which I know the ruling already. If a unit's locked, technically the unit's not there. There's nothing there. It's just a blank spot that I can't use. So he tried to like pick this unit, and I'm like, you can't. Well, actually, it was here, and the unit here has resist. So he couldn't lock the column. He thought he could pick this unit. I'm like, the unit doesn't exist. It's gone. You locked it already. It's gone. So it's a good thing when you know your rulings for stuff like that. But overall, it was a good day. I kind of wish I played this deck the first day. I think I probably would have topped if I played this deck the first day, because there was so many Gear Chronicle, and Aquaforce just has that early game to just beat the crap out of them. But I chose golds the first day, but overall I was not disappointed in this deck. Actually, if I wanted the first day, I wish I went with Blue Wave, because Blue Wave has the better early game. But yeah, this is gonna be my second place ARG deck profile along with the Thavas deck profile. I'm just gonna put them together as one. If I see movements, sign off. Whoa.